Where are we? Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of How to Be a Better Speaker. Now, yes, you will have seen that the title of this one is Rewire Your Mind. And you're probably thinking, well, what's that got to do with speaking? Well, everything, I would suggest. If you've been around for the last few weeks, you'll know I've been talking about stories. The stories we speak out loud and how to make them really good so that you've got your protagonist, your antagonist, the connection between them, the conflict, the resolution, the what's in it for me, call to action. For the stories you speak out loud to is part of your presentation, your talk. But I've also mentioned those ones that you tell yourself, those internal scripts, as I call them. Now, if you are in the habit of saying you're shy, you're an introvert, you're not cut out for public speaking, that's something that other people do, I couldn't possibly. Variations on that theme. Public speaking scares me. What else have I had? How could you possibly do that? That's your department, that's not mine. How you don't understand the situation I'm coming from. I was shut down, I've been booed when I opened my mouth, I've been told shush. All of these things that we might tell ourselves, and some of them, most of them, if not all of them, have come as a result of something that's happened in your past. And this could be way back when, in early childhood. You could have been silenced by the big people around you, told, sort of seen and not heard. You could have been silenced at school. You could have been bullied. You could have been teased. I was listening to a presentation from somebody yesterday who is dyslexic. And one of his teachers actually told him when he did a presentation at year 12. So this is just before leaving school. This teacher said to him, don't ever have public speaking as part of your work. You are really bad at it. I've never seen anything as bad in all my life. Oh, great. Thank you. That was almost like a curse on this guy, and he did not speak out. He's dyslexic. He assumed, because of all the things he'd been told, that he couldn't express himself, he couldn't communicate, he could not speak. I rather suspect there was something else in there as well from my speechy background. But my point is that stopped him from doing all sorts of things. He's now a preacher. Public speaking is what he does all the time, because of that internal script has been changed. So if you have something that you're telling yourself, I can't because, I'd be interested about the because. Absolutely. I'd love you to, if this is the situation you're in, this week, get out a journal, whether you physically write it, and that is the better way of doing it. The reason I'm saying that is because as you are physically, literally writing down, you have the kinesthetic experience, you have the feely experience. As you're visualizing, you can physically visualize and see the words that you're writing. And if you speak them out as well, you've got that form of learning as well. And that's a mighty strong, powerful way of relating to the words that you have been telling yourself internally. Get it out on paper. And then I'm going to invite you to take that step back and go, where did that come from? Recognize there's a script at work and go, yeah, where's it from? Whose voice is telling you that? Now that could be really telling. Whose voice is telling you that? You know what I mean? Because if you can hear a specific voice around that, those words, then that will help you identify who said that to you originally. to adopt that story as your own, because you would have had to have agreed with it to take it on board. Now, if you were a very small person and these were your caregivers, then that was a survival mechanism. So as you're doing this, I invite you to give yourself a shed load of compassion, because you had to take on that story to survive. At times, if it was very early on, your life literally did depend on it. Because if you were put out by your caregivers, you were ignored, you were ostracized, you really would not have survived. So please hear me. If you recognize something that's very early on and you've gone, that, and got all upset with yourself for accepting that, compassion required, please. It's very important that you do give yourself that compassion. But my point is, I'd love you to recognize what it is that you've been telling yourself. What are those stories? Write them down. See if you can work out who said it to you. That's your first thing for this week. I'm going to give you more about the rewire your mind as we go on. But that's what I have for you this week. Recognize, write it out. For now,